Vegas. Who you got, Bobby?
How about the Texans with Davis Mills? I mean, why not?
I like Davis.
He was the best quarterback coming out, rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I just don't know if they have enough. I just don't know. I mean, I don't really see it with the Texans. I get it. I get it. If what the heck's his name? Oh, Lawrence was in Texas, instead of Jacksonville, I would say the Texans are.
Davis Mills a nice quarterback, but he doesn't have super high end like Trevor Lawrence.
Nice quarterback, but not Lawrence.
Yeah.
Houston Texans made a change at the head coaching position. Lovie Smith is back and leading this team. Can he recapture the magic that he had in Chicago? Well, let's take a look. It is a very tough schedule. They open up with the Indianapolis Colts. I got the division rivals taking that one. Then it's up against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. That is going to be a loss. Now, I know a lot of people are excited about Lovie Smith returning to Soldier Field. He's done it before. He's actually 0-2 against the Bears when he was a coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So give me the Bears in that one. But you have the LA Chargers, a team that you upset last year. I have them doing it again before they lose on the road in Jacksonville heading into the bye. Then it's a return to Las Vegas, or just going back to Las Vegas. That is going to be a loss for me. Tennessee, one of the better teams in the AFC. That's a loss. The Philadelphia Eagles. All right, this is starting again. That's a loss. The New York Giants, a very winnable game right there. I have the Giants taking that one. In Week 11, however, the Washington Commanders are coming to town. I have the Houston Texans taking that one. And then it's up on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Give me a loss there, but a win over the Cleveland Browns in a possible Deshaun Watson revenge game. The Dallas Cowboys, well, unfortunately, that's going to be a loss. Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best teams in the AFC. Tennessee, again, on the road at Tennessee is always going to be very tough. Then our friends down in Duval County come to Houston, but you know what? I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that one and the Indianapolis Colts finishing off the season, beating the Texans. And here's the thing. The best case scenario is that Lovie works his magic again. Davis Mills turns out to be the real deal, and the Texans are competitive. That could still happen with the 3-14 record. The worst case, you know what? This roster still needs a lot of work, and we get more of the Tampa Bay Lovie than the Chicago Lovie. And as you see, in 3-14 is the record that I have for the Houston Texans.
So a little more on that. Aside from Mac Jones, the 2021 rookie quarterback class had their fair share of issues last season. Mac and the Pats finished 10-7, made the playoffs. No other rookie QB finished with more than 3 wins. And as I said, it was actually third-rounder Davis Mills who finished second among rookie QBs in total QBR. Over his last 5 starts, Davis Mills ranked in the top 15 of the league in total QBR, yards per attempt, and touchdown passes, while throwing just 2 interceptions over that stretch. That stretch will likely keep the Texans from drafting a quarterback high in April's draft, but feels like they really don't need one. What do you think, Lewis? Could Mills be the guy of the future for the Texans?
Laura, I absolutely believe so. I think coming out of Stanford, had he been at a bigger, let's just say, had he been in an SEC school or maybe even a Big Ten school, and look, Stanford's nothing to sneeze at, but look, had he been on a football team where he had even better high-level players around him, and his football team was on a national stage every week, you would have realized that this was one of the best pure pocket passers coming out in the draft that year. And he's a guy who then obviously went through some growing pains down there in Houston. All of it wasn't, of his own doing. All of it wasn't self-inflicted. He didn't have a lot of weaponry around him. He didn't have a lot of great protection around him. They weren't a good football team. And he continued to grow and develop and progress to where the last month of the season, you start sitting there looking at him, whether it be as a fan, as an administrator, or as a coach, or as a teammate, and you go, hey, man, maybe we're on to something here. This is a guy who, if we can surround him with the kind of talent that Justin Herbert has around him out at the skill positions, the kind of talent that Patrick Mahomes has around him at the skill positions, the kind of talent that Joe Burrow has around him at the skill positions in Cincinnati. I'm not going to say anything about their offensive line, but their skill positions. Hey, Davis Mills could put up some big-time numbers because he is a smooth operator, man. And I'm right in line with Lovie Smith, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect Lovie to say in this situation? They have the cloud of Deshaun Watson that's hovering over the organization. They have the firing of David Culley and Lovie being promoted from within that still people are still talking about. But Davis Mills, what him and Pep Hamilton did at the end of the year was nothing short of a miracle, getting him to play that well after he had a couple rough outings early in the year. But his record as a starter at 2-9, that speaks to how bad of a team they are. But what they saw and how he progressed throughout the year, it gives them belief that at least for another year he should get an opportunity to go out and prove that he can be the long-term solution for the Houston Texans. I like it.
Second-year quarterbacks that in the 2022 year that can break out, basically, and have fantastic seasons, Max Kellerman.
Yes, Keyshawn Johnson. Let's hear it.
Number 6.
Davis Mills sitting at number 6 of the Houston Texans. A lot of people wonder why the Houston Texans didn't go after a veteran quarterback in the trade with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland and picking up Baker Mayfield. That's because they believe in Davis Mills. They believe he had a pretty good year last year, came along toward the end of the season, and they could grow into his second season, and he could have even a better year. That's one of the reasons they didn't select a quarterback at the top of the draft.
Number 5.
Now, number 5 is tricky because I'm not sure it's going to be Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers or Jimmy Garoppolo of the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy's somewhat on the trading block with a shoulder injury, but then again, he's not on the trading block. I'm hearing mixed messages coming out of San Francisco. Some like him, Trey Lance, some love him, some don't know. So he sits at number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4 is interesting, and Evan's probably jumping up and down, kicking and scratching and crawling right now because this quarterback is Zach Wilson. Could burst onto the scene in his second year. The New York Jets certainly did something to upgrade the offense, getting Breece Hall at the running back position, drafting Garrett Wilson. We already know what they have in Corey Davis along with Elijah Moore at the receiver position. Let's find out if he's capable of taking a giant leap in year number 2.
I told you guys they should have drafted Malik Willis. This is why.
Number 3.
Number 3. A team that you just don't like for whatever reason, Max. You don't like the head coach. You despise him. You think he's always up to something. Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots and Mac Jones. This is an interesting. They went out and they got him some help in Devontae Parker from the Miami Dolphins. You would think that the Dolphins gave up on Devontae Parker, but they're deep at the receiving position. Nelson Aguilar is over there along with Kendrick Bourne, along with Jacoby Myers. So second year Mac Jones sitting at 3 on this ranking.
Number 2.
Number 2, probably in a lot of people's minds should be pushed down because it's a new head coach, a new system, not a whole lot of offensive weapons. But I would say this, for a second-year guy in Justin Fields, really it's his first year because last year was a throwaway. He's got a new head coach, so essentially this is his rookie season. I put him at number 2 because I believe his athletic ability and his skill set will surpass everybody else in this particular draft class in terms of the upside of him. Now, number 1 for me is an easy one. You're sitting at number 1 with Trevor Lawrence. They went out and paid a handsome ransom to upgrade the receiving core with Zay Johnson coming over from the Raiders, Kristen Kirk coming over from Arizona. But the caveat and the key piece to all this is Doug Peterson, the head coach that made a run and won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, eventually was fired, had Carson Wentz playing like at an all-time high once upon a time, took a guy off the scrap heap in terms of Nick Foles, won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, had people like you again, Max Kellerman, believing that Nick Foles is the answer to all quarterback problems in the National Football League. Trevor Lawrence will have a fantastic year. He'll sit at number 1.
What do you
35. Got? Davis Mills. It's the Houston Texans starting quarterback.
Who would have thought last year at this time?
I know, right? I wouldn't have been one of those guys. Certainly not. Now, listen. Let's just start off with the picture right here.
Yeah.
This is something he can improve. He does have a few mechanical things where I go, like Joe Burrow did last year to throw the ball harder and stronger. Davis Mills can fix a few mechanics in his game to allow him to throw the ball a little more explosively too. The arm is too long there in that position with the ball in the hand.
What do you mean the arm is too long?
That ball in the hand arm there,
Yep.
The angle is almost breaking a little bit.
Okay.
All right. I don't love that. His motion can get too long.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to get into that. It's the first time I saw the picture. All right. Davis Mills, though, I think was one of the more pleasant surprises when I turned on the film.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to maybe even put him here. I wasn't sure where he was going to go, right? Had the first part of the season, when Tyrod got hurt.
Yep.
Had a few moments of playing good here and there, but then, of course, struggled too.
Yeah.
And he's a rookie, and he was on not a very good team that couldn't run the ball.
And then got to go to the bench and kind of think about it a little
reassess,
bit.
right?
Hopeful. Yeah.
It's a big thing. Again, reassess, take a deep breath. Wait, why am I making this so hard? Damn, coach just said go 1 to 2 to 3. Why the f am I going 1 3 to 4 and doing all this shit? So he came back a different player.
Stats say it.
The stats say it. The film says it. He came back more confident and sure of himself. He's got some ability in his game, more than I gave him credit for, I think, coming out of Stanford, to be totally real with you, and maybe more than I gave him credit even at the end of the season last year.
Yeah.
Because, again, I wasn't glued into Texans football.
Most of us weren't.
In Week 15, I wasn't, breaking it down compared to some of the other top teams in the league. So when I did turn him back on, hey, the first thing is, just like we said in the draft, he knows how to play in the pocket. He's another guy like a Kenny Pickett or whatever else, where, yes, he understands going through reads. He can read a defense and make the appropriate decisions. So that gives him a great start there. He is good in the pocket. I mean, he plays big in the pocket. Mm-hmm. He moves well in the pocket.
Shift and slide.
Exactly.
Much better than I thought.
Exactly, right? When you turn it on.
Yeah.
Probably the number one shocking thing to me.
Pocket presence,
Pocket presence, and even the ability to get out of the pocket and do. Right. You're not going to go, oh, my gosh, wow. But if the pocket collapses or there's trouble, he's a good enough athlete to get out, run for a few yards, 5, 10 yards, or, make a throw on the run.
Yeah.
He is. His ability, again, he's not a thrower. He's a passer. He's more about timing and rhythm and anticipation and, oh, wait, I've repped this a lot, and in this coverage, I got to throw this appropriate type ball.
Yeah.
And I can understand why they want to go with him.
Yeah.
Nick Casario's looking at it like he might have hit the diamond in the rough here, where he got a mid-round quarterback to be a starter. And I think he deserves that shot, and I think, he's another guy. He can definitely be above this next year. There's no doubt. It's not huge talent, but it's good talent, and his ability to play the position is pretty advanced for the age that he's at right now.
Yeah. Two things stood out to me. The first you brought up, the way he kind of, with his eyes downfield, would shift and glide in the pocket.
He doesn't care about getting hit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he will get hit in the chest and make throws.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. That was number one. Number two, and tell me if I'm on or off here. When he went to the bench, after he started a bit, came back, I think when you're on a team that's not that good, you're a rookie, you kind of had an up and down shift when you were in before. I think most guys are a little more conservative. Not afraid to try to fit it in the intermediate. Not afraid to go down, not way downtown, but he didn't take the easy way out a lot, and I thought that stood out. 9 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yes.
In the last 5 starts.
That
and
to me was
dinking
it.
and dunking.
That's to me what is it. Listen, you know me. I'm probably a guy that puts a little more in stock into that kind of stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
We got a 5-yard completion. Great. There was a 20-yard completion to be had. It's the NFL. It's hard to move the ball. You got to hit it when it's there. And he did do that. Yeah, early in the year, I think he was a little gun shy. He's not sure what he's seeing, And that's why I put him in front of guys like Tyrod Taylor and Teddy Bridgewater. The last point you just said there, because he got out of, let me just be quarterback completion percentage and it's never my fault. He started making plays and dictating the game himself with his own play at the end of the year and pushing the envelope a little bit. And yes, you're right, making throws down the field. That's going to be a tight one. Oh, we got it in there. I mean, there was a lot of those moments. And again, it's not a huge arm. It's not. I get that, but he is pretty natural at playing the position, and I think when you add that to the size like you're talking about, the ability to look down the field, subtle movement in the pocket and everything there, and then he does have great touch, and his arm is good enough to make all the throws. It's never going to be a wow arm, but it's a good arm. And I think between all those things, let alone my knowledge of the guy, I know he's a nerd and he works hard and he's all into the craft. And again, me knowing the jumps that guys make from year 1 to year 2, that's where I think it justified putting him ahead of guys like Tyrod Taylor, Gardner Minshew, and Teddy Bridgewater and company.
It looks like he's ready to take a big step forward. You look at the other 10 around him.
That's the question.
Do you think he's set up for success? So then 2023 in the spring, when we're talking about the draft, are the Texans in the quarterback game or not?
I think there is enough around him. I do. Yeah, I'm not sold that he's definitely the future yet, right? I think that's going to be – he's going to have to prove that this year.
It's not a slam dunk.
It's not a slam dunk.
You can see it happening, though.
I can see it happening. Exactly right. I mean, if he stays on the course that we just talked about at the end of the year, he's going to be the starter and be the guy.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be, I think, the type that's going to go out and try to get $30 million receivers. Not Nick Caserio and that company. They're going to be like New England was in the day. We're going to get a lot of, A- and B+ type wide receivers and try to make it work that way.
Right.
You know, their offensive line, it's not bad, right? And running back, got one of my favorites in Dameon Pierce this year. But I think if you ask me in my heart of hearts, after doing what I did last week, I can't remember what day I studied him, if that was Thursday or Friday, but in my heart of hearts where I think I would have gone in the process and go, he's kind of just holding it down for the year. After I studied it a little bit, I went, my heart of heart, kind of my gut kind of said, I think he's going to be the quarterback, for maybe more than just a year.
Yeah.
Or
Nice.
or at least a few more, and we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah.
One more fun note about him. So he was the 8th quarterback taken last year, Chris, at 67 in round 3.
Yeah.
If he would have gone in 67 this year, would have been the 2nd quarterback taken.
That's crazy, right?
I know. There's so many fun ways to compare talent this year to last year.
Yeah, right. And he, I think you see part of the league values that kind of guy where they just want to go, wait, he's going to run our offense and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not all in favor of that guy, as you know.
Yep.
I'm more of like, wait, is Corral or Malik an idiot? Malik Willis, oh, they're not? Well, I'm going with them because I'm going to take the talent and I'm just going to go, I think I can teach them some of the other stuff.
Right.
That's where I land with that. But I know that I'm not everybody's like that. And, somebody like Caserio, and there's a bunch of other teams too that really value the fact of like, he's going to play it true to the position and really understands how to play the position and the little nuances of throw the ball away or don't force the ball or, now is the time to take a sack, just get sacked. He's got a good feel. He's natural like that for sure.
Fun way to start there. Somebody we never would have thought would have been here last year at this time. So Davis Mills at 35, bringing us to